Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, this is the day where we're really having great conversations about bridging the gap. You know, you just heard us talk about quantum physics and the same idea. Today, with Jessica Dooley, we're going to be talking about bridging the gap, alternative and modern therapies. And why is this important? Because in the world we live in, we have more people entering into the I am not well arena than ever before in our history. And yet, what is it we can learn about some of these therapies that have been around for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and, by the way, work? Today, you're going to get to take a journey with us as we explore this with someone that discovered energy healing while she was in her Bachelor's of Science degree in nursing. I love that that can happen. I really love that in the world we live in today, that that can actually happen. And what did Jessica learn from that? What she learned was there was a missing link between medicine and healing. And there she went on her own journey to bring healing to the people who seek it. And so today, besides a fabulous, fabulous career that she has, she's a Reiki master intuitive healer, certified angel card reader, master herbalist. And so this is how we begin to bridge the gap. More importantly, what is it about women's health that got her pointed in the direction of looking at what women are experiencing? And by the way, the rise in autoimmune disease in women is off the charts, right? But what is it about her passion, her soul's mission to help all of us understand the healing journey and be part of that to your purest self? Jessica, it's great to have you.
Oh, Dr. Pat, it's great to be here. I'm so excited.
So I love this, Bridging the Gap, alternative and modern therapies, and I love this. And so let's start with the conversation about why now more than ever, more people are looking and searching for a journey to wellness outside of what we call the conventional pathway. Unfortunately, we call them alternative, but I think now they're becoming less alternative and more integrative. But let's talk about what they are and let's bring it to the mainstream conversation.
Sure. You know, and I think it's funny that we call them alternative anyway, because truly alternative care is ancient care. Those are the practices that have been around longer than allopathic medicine, or what we call Western medicine today. So it always just makes me giggle a little bit when I hear alternative.
Yeah, me too.
Really, it's not new age, it's ancient age or old age medicine. So it's kind of fun. Some other ways that we hear alternative care called would be like complementary medicine or integrated medicine. There's a lot of hospitals, we talk about bridging the gap. There are so many hospitals now that are beginning integrated therapy departments because the value in these therapies is truly being found and discovered. And so they're building a whole new department of the hospital and bringing on practitioners to truly help their patients and clients find this well-rounded care that, we search for. So today we talk bridging the gap, but I truly hope in my lifetime I will see the gap disappear completely.
Yeah, I absolutely am 1,000,000% there with you. And I think we are starting to see it. And the reason we're starting to see it, and let's talk about this, is because here recently, in the past, I'd say 10, 15, 20 years, we've been hit with a couple of really heavy hitter diseases that conventional medicine, first of all, can't even recognize, so therefore they can't even treat it. And I think because can't treat it, they don't want to recognize it. And of course, I'm talking about chronic Lyme disease. And so what have people had to do? And what has medicine had to do? Well, they had to find ways to save lives. And so how? Through these ancient remedies. Mm-hmm. What do you think, or what do you believe is really now about the visibility that we're getting to these new age, old age, whatever age solutions?
I think that so many of them are coming around for just that, because people are going into their doctors saying, I know there's something wrong with my body, or I have this pain, or there's this thing happening inside of me. And the doctor says, either I don't have an answer for you, or we can fix it with treatments that maybe that person isn't impressed with, or just a masking of that symptom. And I think our culture is shifting so far into an understanding and an appreciation for truly healing from the root cause instead of masking a symptom. And finding really what's wrong with me. And I don't want to take a pill every day that I can't live without, or I don't want to have a surgery every year and a half that is the only way I can remain pain-free. And so we're really starting to see an acceptance and an appreciation for those alternative therapies that are designed to start from that root cause and designed to find the true answers. I also think that some of these therapies have gained traction because of technology. We have to be real here. You're states away from me, and we're having this conversation because technology exists, and the internet is a beautiful thing. And so the kind of hidden in the dark corners of people's homes or basement offices or whatever, theories and practices are kind of coming out into the open a little bit more. And people are recreating things like yoga, and now we have goat yoga and beer yoga, and it's maybe not the traditional yoga, but it's certainly creating a reason for people to want to be involved and excited about it.
And part of this too is there's so much information, isn't there, accessible to us.
Absolutely.
We're reading about other people's healing stories, right?
And
we're sharing information.
Yes. And they're so excited to share those stories, I think.
Yeah. Let's just talk about something simple, right, for a minute. Mm-hmm. So a bunch of years ago, coconut got such a bad rap. I don't know if you probably don't remember, but it was like, oh my gosh, coconut oil, oh my gosh, don't even go near. Avocado fit in the same batch.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now we're looking at coconut oil, coconut butter. Now there's something called MCT oil that's a derivative from this. And we're looking at the benefit of those plus the whole ketone conversation. And it's like, whoa, why are we not talking more about this, right?
Right? It is. It's so interesting, I think, to watch that shift in culture from what was good to what is good now. And so much of that comes just from more research. And as our technology advances and we're able to find better answers and more solidified answers, then, of course, what we think is right and true is changing. Coconut and avocado oils, or good fats, totally fall into that.
I know. And but this is really kind of what you're doing. You're bringing a conversation that says, first of all, this is not a one size fits all, but there are some things that we can learn about and demystify. And that's what we're talking about today, is really get rid of the whole voodoo idea, demystify it, and touch back into the day. Let me just pick one thing in particular at the moment.
Sure.
We have now seen in the world, I'd say over the past 10 years, let's just say the rebirth of essential oil. Yet, if you go back, thousands and thousands and thousands of years of the washing of the feet and the treatment with oil, right?
Yes.
And I'm talking pure oil, because how else would they make this oil?
Right.
I mean, isn't that a phenomenon? And yet we want to make like a voodoo thing out of that. I don't get it.
I don't either. I really don't. And that's been, one of the hardest struggles that I've overcome. And I actually tell people that I kind of live a split life. I work as a labor and delivery nurse full time, and I work as a healer as well. And those worlds have to almost be completely separate from me, being in the Midwest part of the United States, where people still very much hold on to these practices as voodoo medicine and, witch doctoring and woo-woo things. And, when we sit and are able to have those conversations, one of my favorite things to say is that this was ancient medicine, that before we had an understanding of anatomy, and before we had before we had the technology to do blood work and, run labs and do x-rays and CTs and MRIs and all of those things, herbal medicine was how we healed people. We healed people with plants. We healed people with oils. We healed people with prayer and meditation and acupuncture and acupressure, and all of those things came into this. And then we found technology and forgot all of that. We forgot how to use our intuition, and we forgot how to use nature to heal us. Most of the population in the United States is vitamin D deficient.
Yes. Yes.
We get vitamin D for being outside.
Yeah. And of course, the myth around that is the fear we have of the sun and the idea that we need being outside. So we go from like one extreme to the next. And I want to talk about that when we come back. I don't think that the people that are saying we need to be outside are saying, go sit in the sun for 5 hours, on a beach. We're not saying that. And so this is really part of the conversation you're bringing to the forefront. When we come back, get ready, everybody. Are you ready? Western medicine, the good, the bad, the ugly, and then anything in between. That's the conversation for today. Before we go to break, how can people find out more about you? Let's make sure we're giving folks your website.
Absolutely. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Purely You Healing, or straight at my website, www.purelyyouhealing.com.
Awesome. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, that'd be it. Good, the bad, the ugly. I love that. One of my favorite conversations, what you should know and what you should want to know. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of being bloated and nauseous? Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. Did you know eating unhealthy foods eventually leads to an unhealthy digestive system? Did you know eating the most healthy, nutritious food doesn't necessarily result in a healthy body? The stomach must be healthy in order to properly digest, metabolize, and utilize even the best of nutrition. Without proper digestion from the stomach through the intestinal tract, the nutritious value is not absorbed, and the improperly digested food can be more toxic to your body than helpful. You can be doing all the right things and getting all the wrong results. In fact, other organs may also be interfering with your stomach's ability to digest. Contact us today for your appointment at 888-777-4232. That's 888-777-4232. Or visit us at maryjanemack.com.
A space of allowing radio with Coach Nancy Coco, welcoming all that wants to be present today. Tune in Thursdays every first and third week at 9 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com as Coach Nancy helps you find a space of allowing. Join Coach Nancy to explore what lives at your edges and to bring more of yourself home. For more information, visit NancyCocoCoaching.com.
Learn about the heart and soul of justice. In Law and Disorder Radio, Megan Lyons will be raising the universal consciousness by empowering listeners with their own inner strength. Megan will show you how to find true healing and inner peace through the art and practice of self-love. From victim to victor. Tune in every first and third Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio. For more information about Megan Lyons, visit her website, enterthelightllc.com.
Calling all ladies. Are you struggling with neck, back, shoulder pain, or postural issues? who actually might have a related bra problem. Talk to Maria Monti at the Healthy Bra Company. She's a professional postural therapist who offers custom-fitted, custom-altered bras in 2,500 size combinations specific to your body type, shape, size, anatomical features, and breast weight. Call Maria today to find out more at 360-815-3205.
Healing beyond symptom management into true wellness with Jessica Dooley on Purely You Radio. Tune in every third Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific as Jessica guides you to find and embrace your purest self. Not the self that is shown on social media, not the self that is created in your family's eyes, but your purest version of you. Purely You Radio supports true wellness, not just symptom management. For more information about working with Jessica Dooley, visit purelyyouhealing.com.
Oh boy, I'm having so much fun today. I'm Dr. Pat. For more information about me, you can go to the drpatshow.com. Hey, you can even go to crustbusting.com, or you can go to transformationtalkradio.com, all of the above. And you'll find out about the network, you'll find out about the show. And there's also information, if any of you out there are interested in taking your voice out into the world, we'd love to help you. Jessica Dooley is my very special co-host today, and of course, she's on a mission. Would you let folks know how they can find out more about you before we get into the good, the bad, the ugly?
Yeah. So you can find me first and foremost at my website, which is www.purelyyouhealing.com. Find all sorts of information about all of my services on there and a little bit about my story. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well at Purely You Healing. I have a total open door policy. So any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out.
Awesome. All right. Love this. And you are taking this on. That's what I love about it. So Western medicine, the good, the bad, the ugly. Before we even get into Western medicine, we need to tell people what we're talking about when we talk about Western medicine and ancient therapies. Give us a rundown.
Sure. And even before that, Dr. Pat, what I want to say, just because I am a nurse and I do work full-time as a nurse right now, we have to understand, and I want our listeners to know that I am in no way bashing Western medicine or allopathic medicine, that my goal is to truly bridge that gap and help people find a way to reach true wellness or reach their purest selves by working together with these two therapies or these two forms of healthcare, and eventually one day make it all one form.
Yeah.
So what do those look like? What is Western medicine? What is alternative healthcare? Western or allopathic is the other word you'll hear that, is what we as in American society will think about when you think about going to the doctor or to the hospital. Western medicine would include, your lab work and your routine physicals and all of your imaging studies. Physical therapy could fall into that. Occupational speech therapy would all fall into those things. That is what our Western medicine is. When somebody says, I'm going to med school, what they're learning is Western medicine or allopathic medicine. Alternative therapies, also called complementary or integrative or new age, those therapies are all the ancient practices. And those are the practices that have been around for 5,000 years and have been healthcare in other nations, in our older nations. A lot of Chinese medicine is what we call alternative medicine. So things like acupuncture and acupressure, things like massage and yoga and energy healing and chiropractic care and prayer sometimes can even fall into that, or meditation. All of those types of work, essential oils are sometimes thrown into alternative care. All of those kinds of things are what we call alternative, so they're two very different worlds. But I think the goal for each of them is to help people feel better. You know, I truly think that that's where every human being, whether they go into alternative care or they go into Western medicine, I truly think the goal is to help people. But they come at it from two very different places.
Yeah, and I think one of the other things I also want to say is the evolution of this now, too, has been in a third group. And I want to make sure I mention this third group. because we live in a place where we are the home of Bastyr University. And so the third group that we should be very, very aware of is everyone out there that is in the world of science-based natural medicine. And so these doctors that have an N and a D at the end of their name, Dr. Darvish, Dr. Ronnie, here's the deal. They go through all of the same coursework that the MDs go through. But when they have to choose which specialty am I going in, after they've taken hours and hours of biology and you name it, they decide I'm going in this direction. And this is that other group of people that not only, gets to do all of these ancient modalities, but they now are in this world of they are on the leading edge of innovative things. So this is now the momentum, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, as that value, I think, as people start to see the value in the two different worlds, that we know, all of our medications started as an herb at one point in time.
I know.
That's where it began. And we can also, on the flip side of that, know and appreciate research and understanding that, it's so important to follow the therapies and the decisions we make for our patients to be sure that those continue to be good things. The amount of medications that have been pulled off the market because as time has gone on, we've realized they aren't good for people, or they're creating problems. Thalidomide was a big one in the 60s. For pregnant women, it was given for morning sickness, which only happens when you're pregnant, but then found to cause birth defects. So it was pulled from the market because that, of course, was not a good thing. That was nothing that we wanted. So it's finding that value in research and knowing that it is so important to follow our treatment and to make sure that it is truly not causing harm. And so these NDs, which are fantastic, it's my favorite person to see, that are people who have found that value and use the best of both worlds.
I know. And, part of this, too, is as we're looking at this, we're looking and we're making comparisons, right? So let's talk about Western medicine because, you and I are here because we've been active participants in Western medicine in so many ways, right? When I tore my rotator cuff in my shoulder, and I am not kidding when I said, when I'm telling you I tore that thing. Okay. That thing just, of course I used natural ways for the pain, but ultimately I had to go down a pathway and get that fixed. Right.
Absolutely. Yep.
And there are other things as well. So tell us about Western medicine from your perspective.
I think Western medicine is great for the situations that can't be healed otherwise. No different than you. You had natural ways to treat your pain, but in the reality of it is that needed repaired. Western medicine brought us the technology and the surgeries and the surgeon to do that. And so things like that, I think, are where Western medicine has a great place. I think preventative medicine can come in huge roles in Western medicine. Your annual exams and your mammograms, those, I don't know about those. There's some new research on that, but your preventative care where you've got somebody just kind of laying an eye on you and saying, you know what, I think you look okay. And my professional opinion is that your body is doing well for you. I think Western medicine is a great place for people to go when they want a quick fix. I think it's a great place for people to go when they don't have the desire to step into their own bodies and to truly heal the situation in their life, or maybe don't have the time, energy, or not in that space in that season of their life to do such a thing. There's times where we know, let's talk about our obesity epidemic, right? We know that that's a problem. And you can look at that person eating their McDonald's whatever meal and their extra large soda and know they can tell you, yes, I know this is bad for me. Yes, I know I'm overweight. Yes, I know I have high blood pressure or cholesterol or whatever, but I don't have time to cook food right now. and that becomes what it is, And so in that case, in those situations when their lifestyle, their priorities, where they're at in their life is different, or isn't aligning with the ability to do things like meal prep,
I know.
like exercise every day, to do things like meditate so they can lower their blood pressure. When they're not in that season, Western medicine is a great place to go. That's absolutely where you should be. I don't want you to abandon Western medicine, and I think that it's so important for people to find exactly what works for them.
I think you hit the nail right on the head right there. And that is that we are in a space where we do have to figure out what is going to work for me and my family, by the way, at the moment, in whatever I do. And how will we get that to work in such a way that I'm going to get a solution to my problem, I'm going to get possibilities to my situation, and then I'm going to be able to make educated and informed decisions about what I can do given where I am, my insurance coverage, and so forth.
Yes.
And I think that's what we're talking about, is if we don't provide people with information so that they can ask what else is possible here, that's really, I think, where people find a lack of possibilities. And that's really hard to do in today's world because there's so much information. But that's why you're doing this, aren't you?
Right. That's exactly it. To do my best to inform people and help them make decisions and help them learn their own body so that you know what it is that's right for you. Because what's right for me and what's right for you are going to be two totally different things. Cookie cutter medicine isn't effective. Your body is its own thing. Each of us are individuals. That's what makes the world go round. So your treatment plan, your wellness plan should be an individual plan too.
Oh, yeah. It's really fascinating because I am finding, I live in a world right now for me that had I not gotten really, really sick 6 months after saying yes to this, April 1st of 2004, Jessica, I'm standing up there giving a workshop on living your biggest dream. At the end of the day, my foot was the size of a grapefruit. And off I went on a healing journey. I now know that part of that was so much emotional stuckness, fear, and doubt. Here I was saying yes to something I love to do. And everybody around me said, man, dude, go get a real job, okay? What the heck are you doing? I now know about that, but guess what? It led me on a journey to find out about what we're talking about today. I'm a girl from New York. I didn't grow up with this conversation. I didn't grow up with that, but I grew up with a mom, a stepmom and a mom who believed in possibilities. And we're going to take a short break. When we come back, you're going to take us on a journey of what now is possible. What's possible in both arenas? Why is it in today's world we can now talk about surgery for rotator cuff and at the same time talk about DRG stimulation therapy? DRG stimulation therapy. Okay. I'm going to tell you when we come back how you can find out about that. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
Join Jennifer Noel Taylor on the hit show Quantum Touch Radio, supercharging your life on TransformationTalkRadio.com. You'll take a quantum journey as we reveal powerful yet simple steps to create more abundance, better health, emotional and mental vibrancy, and happier relationships using universal quantum touch principles. For more information, visit JenniferNoelTaylor.com.
Demystifying the journey on From Here to There Radio with your host, Diane Garris. Tune in every third Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific Time on TransformationTalkRadio.com as Diane helps you get from where you are now to the life you envision. Get ready to get unstuck and move forward. Every show features a new special segment, New Age Notes, demystifying hot metaphysical topics of the day. For more information or to work with Diane, visit DianeGarris.com.
Ignite your inner magic on Grow Your Soul Radio with Jane Machanga. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio as host Jane Machanga explores how to overcome your fears to help you gain the inspiration you need to awaken your path to joy. Learn the way to life mastery and the enlightened path with Grow Your Soul Radio. For more information on Jane Machanga and her work, visit enlightened-path.com.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit jenroyster.com for more information.
Would you like your next chapter to be free from fear and angst? Tune in to Your Next Chapter Radio, navigating through life's transitions with Shelley Ryan the fourth Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Shelley's contagious enthusiasm guides you through life's transitions deliberately, mindfully, and funnily. For Your Next Chapter coaching or to listen, visit YourNextChapterCoaching.com or call 602-617-8351. Next.
High frequency healing for an amazing life with Source Light Radio. Join host Laura Barton each month on Transformation Talk Radio as she explores Source Light integration, a unique spectrum of energy, light, and frequency. Experience instantaneous healing and amazing shifts in consciousness with Source Light Integrations Radio. For more information on Laura and her work, visit sourcelightintegrations.com.
Hey, everybody, welcome. Yeah, we're taking your questions too. 1-800-930-2819. Jessica Dooley is in the house. And Jessica, before we kind of go ahead, you have an offering for people as well. Can you tell us what you've put together for our listeners?
Oh, absolutely. I think that anybody who listens to this show, either live or the recording afterwards, could be very, very blessed with a discount for any service that I offer. And that discount will hold for a whole year from today, so all the way through September of 2019, and can just be automatically applied when you book your appointment with me.
I love it. And tell folks a little bit about the kind of work that you do so they know that what we're talking about today is directly in your wheelhouse here.
Sure. So, it's as we've talked about, that I think it's so important to bridge that gap, and that people deserve unique care for their individual person, their individual body, and where they're at on their journey. So we know that I have my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, and that I do work as a labor and delivery nurse. I am also a Reiki master. I am an intuitive energy healer. I have training in chakra cleansing, crystals, and essential oils. I am a master herbalist and a certified angel card reader. And so I use knowledge from all of my training to work together with my clients over about an hour session. And most of it ends up being energy healing. And then we throw in some of the herbs, some of the oils. The crystals are always a part of a session. And kind of use my, gamut of information tucked away in that little brain of mine and use that to help people find their way to their purest self.
Right. I love this. And I love the idea of purest self as well. And thank you for the offer for our listeners. Really appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Yeah. So let's start to talk about what is happening. I alluded to it at the beginning of the show. And I was talking to both Dr. Ronnie and Dr. Darvish, both of which have been with the show for a really long time. And we've been talking about some of these latest therapies that not only the tried and true that most people are aware of, but like I said before the break, for those of you, if you want to learn more about the remedy or the therapy I mentioned, you can go to the website aboutyourpain.com. Because here we are now innovatively out of the box. We're now getting incredibly fascinating new therapies, new technology. But the question really is, why? why are so many more people, and by the way, so many more exponentially in Europe and South America and abroad and Asia that are using these, even more than we are. But here we are now too, right?
Yeah, we really are coming around to them. And this is one of the hardest questions, I think, to answer because everyone's story is so unique. And, we're all kind of on our own journey, but I think there's probably a few big reasons why people turn to alternative care. One of the first ones being that they're disappointed with Western medicine in some way. Either they don't like the answers they received, the treatment plan that they were given hasn't been found to be effective, or they weren't given an answer at all. And I think that it's some of those things that take people there. I mean, we've got to give some credit to people who are just downright curious, right?
Yeah.
And then, the some who have done their research and decided that, maybe there is some value in this care, and so I'm going to explore it and embrace it. But I think for so many people, it really comes from a place of last resort type of feelings where, I don't know what else to do, so I'm going to try this. And then they find relief or improvement in their conditions and realize that it really is worth their time, money, energy, whatever that looks like. And kind of jump on the bandwagon, so to speak, of alternative care and embrace it wholly. And then, I don't know, I mean, maybe it's not like this for everybody, but it certainly was for me. Once I started in one tiny facet of it, then it just kept growing and growing and growing, so that I have now experienced work from many of the different modalities and keep most of them as a part of my wellness routine instead of just one or two. Because like we have talked about, I don't think that there is one end all be all. I think that you need a multitude of those modalities to reach your best self and to reach that true wellness that we're looking for.
Yeah. What's interesting about this is that when we go back and we look at ancient medicines and we look at ancient healing, one of the things that's brought to the surface is the approach. And so the approach is one of, there are layers that get looked at, right? And what I mean by that is the root cause. There's a root cause for your condition. And my experience with going to natural doctors is there are root causes, and their approach is, let's get at the root cause. And chances are it's not going to be that first thing that shows up. And so it's, let's take one layer at a time. Isn't this both the blessing sort of and the curse in the dialogue, especially because in the world we live in, if I can't get it fixed in 60 seconds, it's too long.
Yep, absolutely. And that's a double-edged sword because even our physicians, if they're, I've got physicians that are double and triple booked right now. If your original appointment time is supposed to be 15 minutes, your doctor is now double booked. That puts you at 7 minutes with your physician. We've created such a culture that has embraced and had to accept that quick medicine, that quick fix has to exist because we don't have time otherwise. Your physician doesn't have time. In 7 minutes, you can't tell them enough about what's going on in your life to truly get to that root cause. Medicine just isn't designed that way. We don't operate that way right now.
It is such an abomination to me. I recently had to go for a bunch of MRIs and MRI with contrast. And, it took me like 3 weeks to get all these x-rays done, right? And then I got the report. Then I go back to the doctor, who I never will go back to again. And you go back to the doctor, the first person comes in, talks to you and says, blah, 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 the doctor will be in. And I said, well, are we going to review the report, right? And doctor comes in and honestly, never had a comes in. I went in for a hip thing because I fell playing my sport, and says to me, just like I thought when I first talked to you, it's really your back. And I said, well, are we going to go over the x-rays? No, never went over the x-rays. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I have a great chiropractor, Dr. Kaufman in Bothell. I have a great chiropractor. So I go to my chiropractor and we go through all of the x-rays and look at them together. And what it really points to is what we started the show today. there's a gap. So, of
gap.
course, I'm not going to go to the doctor that these, orthopedic people recommended.
Right.
And it really is highly disappointed because in the end, you still, as a patient, have to figure it out. And honestly, if I didn't do this radio show, I don't think I would try to figure it out, Jessica.
Well, and where would you find the information to figure it out, and have the support in the community? Because I don't feel like it's supported in Western medicine. I don't feel like you're encouraged to look at alternatives. You have to do that research on your own. And, Googling alternative therapy for hip pain is a black hole of information. You just get lost down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. Please, I'm not recommending that you do this. I really do think that, educated and informed.
Yes.
But I'll tell you, for my chiropractor to take a good half hour and review all, most of the x-rays, most of the information. And then, of course, my chiropractor, I just love Dr. Kaufman, and to go through and actually feel better. Isn't that what we're all striving for? Aren't we striving to feel better? Let's take a short break, Jessica. When we come back, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
What is it about the world we're living in today that keeps us longing for a remedy, for a cure to feel better? Let's take a short break. We'll be right back with Jessica Dooley.
If you're dealing with fear and anxiety, you've probably noticed that the more you fight these emotions, the stronger they seem to get. Dr. Friedemann Schaub, the author of The Fear and Anxiety Solution, explains that instead of suppressing, we need to identify and resolve the deeper subconscious root causes of fear and anxiety. His personal breakthrough program has helped thousands worldwide to overcome their emotional challenges. To learn more, visit thefearandanxietysolution.com and schedule your free consultation with Dr. Schaub now.
Learn how to be you in today's world on New Soul Radio. Follow host Ruby Betty each month on Transformation Talk Radio as she introduces new rules for new souls in these new times. As a powerful spiritual thought leader, modern mystic, and clairsentient, Ruby Betty is propelled toward a single goal: to awaken human beings to their fullest potential. For more information on Ruby and her work, visit rubybetty.co.
Hi, I'm Shelley Ryan, host of Your Next Chapter Radio. When you're ready to start a new chapter, take time to get clear about what it is that you want your next chapter to look like. Imagine what you'll be doing, who you'll be with, where will you be, how will you feel when you get what you want. This could be your dream job, finding your love, retirement, a balanced life, a healthy, fit body. Whatever you're looking for, create a crystal clear picture of exactly what it is that you want. Then write your vision down in as much detail as you can and read it as often as you can to remind yourself of your what. You don't have to be concerned about how you'll make this happen. You just need to be crystal clear about what it is you want. If you stay focused on your what, watch God and the universe show you opportunities for how to take action and make it happen. If you need help getting clarity around your what for your next chapter, you can reach me at www.yournextchaptercoaching.com.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Hey, I am so thrilled. Jessica Dooley is in the house. And Jessica, one more time, how can people find out more about you?
Sure, you can follow my Facebook page, Purely You Healing, or me on Instagram, Purely You Healing, and my website, where you find all the information about my services and information about myself as well, is at www.purelyyouhealing.com.
We started out the show today to really look at the gap and really find the best solution, whether it is ancient remedies, whether it is contemporary remedies, whether it's energy healers, whether it's MDs, NDs, or any other D in between. This is really about finding a complete healthcare team and solution. Tell us about this. Tell us how we know how to create that best choice, best option.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the questions of life, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think the goal is always true wellness, and not masking symptoms, but truly wellness, and what is the one thing they say is that you don't appreciate your health until you don't have it, right?
Yeah, it's true.
And so as much as I would like to give you this is what you need to do, a checklist, that you have to pick X, Y, and Z, and this is what's going to fix you, or this is what's going to make you feel better. I can't do that. And I can't do that because your body is different and your body is unique. So you need that unique treatment plan. So how do you find that? How do you find what that looks like for you? That's truly the question, and that's truly where we're at. And I think the place that you start is by finding what it is that you're interested in. The things that pique your interest, the things that make your tummy get a little butterflies, or kind of think, well, I know some people have talked about that and that really sounds intriguing to me. I think that that's where you start and kind of grow from there. But one of the most important parts of that is that you find a true team. And I've said this before, there is not one end all be all to wellness. You need people who are going to work on every facet of your body and come at it from multiple different approaches. Because your life happens in multiple different places.
It does, doesn't it? And that's part of it. I mean, every day we may be faced with something that's happening in our lives and in our bodies or to a loved one. And I think it's like most things, the more information we have in our toolkit, the better able we are when it comes time to really make very important decisions, right?
Yes. I liken your healthcare team kind of like your group of girlfriends, that you have a friend you go to for specific things in your life. You go to a fellow mom friend when you need mom advice or just to vent about your kids. And you maybe go to a different friend about your relationship with your partner. And you maybe go to a different friend about your work-life struggles. And, it takes a village. That's why we have that group of people in our lives, because each person offers something different, much like your team, your wellness team should, and I think that that's so important. And, again, I want to say that I don't want you to abandon Western medicine, that Western medicine has value in your healthcare, and you should hang on to your medical doctor. You should hang on to those preventative screenings and take advantage of science and technology. The ability that we have to explore the human body is phenomenal.
Give us a couple of ideas, right? Process, steps. How do we go about this? I mean, I don't think the internet is our enemy by any means, but certainly, there are ways that we can look at what's best for us. I mean, nowadays, especially with the internet, a doctor or a healing center gets reviewed. So there are many, many ways to look at this, right?
Absolutely. So I think a lot of finding your team depends on your location, right? Your budget. And then, like we talked about before, your dedication to your wellness, kind of where you're at on your journey with that. But if I were to give you 3 steps, right? Three things you could do, they would be this. The first one would be to always trust your intuition, or that gut feeling that you get, right? If you walk into work with a practitioner, you had shared this before, and it just doesn't feel right, good and well, you're not going to go back to that person. Right? Trust that. Always trust that feeling, because if it doesn't feel right, or they don't serve you in the way that you would prefer, it's okay to find somebody else. And it doesn't matter if that person has been your family physician for years, or if it's, the healer that your best friend sees and she thinks it's great. It doesn't matter what that looks like. Trust your gut, trust your intuition to guide you to the people who are meant to be a part of your journey. The second one would be to remember that there is not one end all be all to wellness, that you need those multiple modalities, that you need people who are truly going to serve your mind, your body, and your soul. You are a multifaceted human, and you deserve your care to be multifaceted too, to serve every part of you, not just the piece of you that's screaming the loudest today.
Let's just kind of bring it back, and let's go back to what's available for people. Clearly, Jessica, you have created a beautiful way to integrate East and West along the way.
Thank you.
I think that we're looking at the world of possibilities, and certainly stories and storytelling and examples. And I think that's most important. I want to touch upon energy medicine, if we could, for a minute.
Sure.
we know thousands and thousands of years ago, you can go way, way back, and they didn't call it energy medicine, but clearly they called it either hands-on or something of that nature. Right. And here we are, fast forward to today, and now the world is clearly looking at, quote, energy medicine. What did Dr. Oz call it? The next frontier. Give us your view in the last couple of minutes we have left of the explosion now we're seeing sort of in this arena.
Sure. Energy medicine in itself, I think one of the easiest ways to explain that is that your body has an energetic system the same way that you have a skeletal system or, your circulatory system. And that energy that's created from the work of your cells and the atoms in your body, right? I mean, we know that physics tells us that everything is created of atoms, and that the rate at which they vibrate is what creates the density of those things. Quantum physics is a whole nother world.
Yes.
But it's really fun. So energy medicine works to rebalance that energy system and to settle those atoms into the vibration that they're supposed to be at to operate at their best, so that you are well and whole and healthy. When we talk about like that hands-on healing, and knowing that that's ancient medicine, and we know that Christianity has taught that can happen for as long as it's existed, right? I mean, Jesus was one of the healers of the world, and it was something that was accepted then very well. But most of what happened, I guess I wasn't there, but what I would assume happened was all a balancing of that energy, and knowing that your body operates best when your energy is balanced, no different than your skeletal system operates best when it's in alignment from your chiropractor, no different than your circulatory system operates best when your heart is beating like it's supposed to.
But this is really now, especially with what we're now open to in the world of quantum healing and quantum anything. This is really now the final frontier, is to how to really embrace this new knowledge and wisdom of what we now know is the connection between us all, between our bodies and between consciousness. Thank you, Jessica. Please give out your website. Thank you so much for today. And one last question. What's your personal message?
Oh, my personal message would always be that you are a unique human being, and that your treatment should be unique as well. Your body is meant to heal itself. And so we just have to give it the tools to do that. My goal for every person on earth is to reach their purest self with a well-rounded team of practitioners working towards their true wellness. You can find me at www.purelyyouhealing.com or on Instagram or Facebook at Purely You Healing. Thanks, Dr. Pat, so much for having me on today. It's so fun.
Oh, I love it. And we're going to take a short break, everyone. And by the way, Jessica just mentioned quantum physics. That was the 10 o'clock show. So when you go listen to these back to back, you're going to get quantum physics perspective and bridging the gap. Thank you all for tuning us in and turning us on. We'll see you next time.
Preceding audio was via a Skype call.